We're at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. This place has over 12,000 animals and over 100 exhibits. So let's check it out and see if it's worth the stop. Let's see what they have in this frogs exhibit. These are the poison dart frogs.
I feel like that one's not moving. Wow, they're pretty still. You see, that one's moving because I can see his belly. No, wow, they're pretty still. Wow, up there, you see those lizards? See them in the tree?
Now we're headed into the Tropical Pacific Gallery.
You're right, dancer! Yes! Alright, should we go to the next one?
It says here, what are corals? Corals are living animals with microscopic algae living inside their cells. Different types of coral.
Don't push your foot down. Use it. I'm sorry.
Hillary, way up there.
Rồi cá lớn, cá đồ đó. Sát không
Yeah, let's see. Is there Nemo around here? Look at the pink and orange fish. Oh, I think I see Nemo. Yeah, I think we can watch from here. Laura, do you see the pink one? Sissy, look at the pink and orange one.
I think this is my favorite one.
الكلر بتاعها. I like this one because it's cute.
Some more coral. There's a sea star up top. It says it's called the granulated sea star. It's being antisocial up there today.
That's like the ones that partners get because they kind of never.
These are called the crown of the thorn sea star. It says that they actually eat coral. Look at those teeth. These are the chocolate chip starfish. It says that the spiny bumps on these stars deter predators. This here's a mandarin fish.
Right behind that shell.
It says this fish is called the sargo.
Oh, here.
Axolotls.
Over there.
This is the Pacific seahorse.
Yeah, we're gonna go outside right now.
There's another one down
It's
there.
the chili pepper rockfish.
Oh. Mom, try to find them.
Sea star down here. Try to get it.
I don't like strawberries. But try to find that Pacific Reef. Try to find it.
Pufferfish. Excuse me.
Anh xúc rồi. Cái này hả? Để chắc
These things always amaze me.
We also offer enrichment, like changing, similar to what they would find in the ocean. We offer hand feeding sessions, allowing us to train the birds for their health care. For example, we ask them to walk onto a scale to monitor their weight.
Here's the seal and sea lion section. We got, who do we have today? We have Parker. We got to keep a lookout for Chase. There's Kane. We got Ellie or Elga. Shelby's swimming around somewhere. Troy. And Kaya. It has to be Chase.
Especially when they want to dive, right? So again, what do these guys eat? Well, small schooling fish and squid, yes, but the harbor seals eat something else a lot called benthic invertebrates, things that live on the very bottom that don't have a backbone. And why do they do that? Well, if you think about it, it takes a lot less calories.
It still is a form of camouflage. Just with our harbor seals, it's going to be a different type of camouflage.
Yes, 100%. In fact, that type is called disruptive camouflage, right? So it actually kind of works very similarly to like our military uses camouflage, right? It helps to kind of break up their form when they're in the water. By the way, where are they going to hang out? Well, not necessarily, super pelagically. They usually are going to hang out kind of in eelgrass beds and kelp forests, right? And so they kind of blend in there with the kelp. And also as the sun dapples through the water, that helps to break up their form there. Again, that disruptive camouflage. Now, that's also kind of the easiest way to tell the difference between the two species. We're getting another great look here. Again, solid color for our local species. That's going to be a California sea lion. He's waving at you. And then if you see the speckles, that's a harbor seal. So that's kind of the easiest way to tell here. Back to the seals here, because I know we're getting some great seal action right now. Josiah, it's one thing I noticed, and probably my favorite thing about seals, is that really cute movement they do on land. They are a little bit silly getting around, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, Zach, but right now we're getting some good giggles.
Oh, are we?
It is on my left-hand side. Yeah, they kind of move pretty fun. Not as agile, I would say, as the California sea lions on land. I say they move much more kind of like an inchworm or a caterpillar. But that movement has a name. It's referred to as galumphing. So there you go. That's a new term. To me, it means to move in a silly or clumsy manner.
Over here we have the June Keys penguin habitat. There they are. That one over there is just standing up, hanging out. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to touch this purple sea urchin here.
This one does. Yeah. No, it's like slimy. Yeah, if you put one finger, it kind of gives you a little puff.
Little slimy. This section's the shorebird sanctuary. Here we have a yellow-crowned night heron. Let's see here. There he is. He's scratching his chin there. We're gonna head on into the lorikeet forest, see what kind of birds they have in there. See if this guy down here wants a little. We're gonna stop into the Cafe Scuba and grab a little snack. Looks like they have fish tacos, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, chili cheese dogs, chili cheese fries. There's the burger. Ended up going with the fish and chips. Time to dig in. We're gonna go over here to Shark Lagoon and see what they have.
Okay, I don't.
The counter rays have a mucous membrane. That's a disease defense mechanism they have. So they feel like a portobello mushroom. They're very slimy. Whereas the sharks have a much rougher skin. Their dermal tentacles basically it's teeth along their skin. So the animals do feel differently, even though, again, 50 million years ago, they were more or less the same animal. Now, sharks get sexually matured about 15 years of age, and they can live 25, 30, or 50 years. And it's important for us to have a healthy shark population because it means there's food to eat and the ecosystem is healthy.
if I can lure one over. Oh, this one sees me. Here it comes. Two of
Once
them.
again, my friends, we're petting with a gentle 2-finger touch.
Kind of slimy.
Because these guys, as you notice, the water's a little bit warmer than we're used to at the beaches. That's because these guys are from the Indo-Pacific region. So they're used to warm, sunny climates, so they really need that sunscreen. And then that mucus membrane works as a band-aid, and it'll seal over any cuts so that bacteria don't get in. Our sharks over in the mangrove can touch them. Again, we're petting always with those gentle 2 fingers. But our sharks, instead, they feel very rough. Almost like sandpaper.
Yeah, they feel like
And
sandpaper.
that's because instead of feeling that layer on top of them, you're directly feeling their scales. And sharks and rays have very... And they also, because their skeletons are made of cartilage instead of bone, their teeth fall out a lot. So sharks can actually lose up to 30,000 teeth over their entire lives. But with our rays here, they have flat teeth instead of sharp ones. And so that means instead of biting their food, they're going to crush something like a
See if we
shell.
can find that zebra shark.
They like to eat things with shells like clams and mussels.
The enormous liver of sharks take up 23% of their body weight.
And again, the zebra shark's over by the window to my right here. And the whiptail ray is on the move.
I want to see that big
Oliver
Oh, like you can see from up top? Oh, really? Maybe. I think that's where you... I love their noses. All right. Ready? Yeah. Ready. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. All right. These two guys. I got it. Oh, it's a fish.
One of the fish has a funny thing on its head.
Wow.
Oh, I have sawn a
So that's the gray reef shark. Gray reef shark.
The other gray one might be a salmon.
Oh, look at that
So there's a
one.
female zebra shark in the tank behind me here. And we're working with other conservation organizations down in Indonesia to rehabilitate the zebra shark population that was
rape way around now.
overfishing and fin soup, other things. So we share eggs.
Oh, that one's so big.
And over this way, we have the steelhead rainbow trout exhibit. It says the steelhead could get up to 40 inches in length. See if we can find one.
I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what it's like. I think it's almost online.
I want you to raise your hand if you like seafood, specifically sushi. There's a lot of seaweed in that. Also, keep your hand up if you like to use different types of seasonings. A lot of seasonings are going to have like seaweed inside, but that's pretty broad. Raise your hand if you opened a can for this holiday. There could have been seaweed as a preservative in that. It's preserved in a lot of like canned goods. Not a lot of canned goods this holiday season. That's okay. I want you to raise your hand if you like to eat ice cream. Me too. Did you know that helps an emulsifier in it? Any frozen dairy treat, there's going to be algae emulsifier in there. What about, oh my gosh, there's like so many I can say. Who brushed their teeth this morning? Actually keep your hands down. Maybe you don't use toothpaste, but toothpaste is going to be something that has kelp as an emulsifier ingredient. So you can imagine that if you use toothpaste, you're going to be using kelp daily. But let's say you, again, you don't clean your teeth using toothpaste, you clean your teeth a different way. Let's say, just all take a deep breath. That was a lot, huh? Okay, now you can all raise your hands. Because if you can believe it, anywhere from 50 to 70% of the oxygen that you breathe on a daily basis anywhere on the planet comes from places like kelp forests and seagrass beds, not trees and plants on land. So when they say we need to protect the forest, I think you're ready to go. And George, you know, we just learned that this is a real-life place. The blue cavern is found here locally on Catalina Island. And it serves an important role not only for the animals that call it home, but also for humans. Because George, kelp forests support things like our breathable oxygen, nearly 1,000 different species of plants, animals, and other organisms, which is why here in California, we have some of the most marine protected areas of any other place in the world. Can you tell me a little bit more about the role that you, I, and all these folks can play here locally when we go visit these places? He's gonna get turned up. One sec, George. Now let's hear it.
Welcome and happy new year. First time of the year that I'm actually presenting here, so you know, I'm really excited about it. And I'm particularly excited to talk about a place that I'm very fond of. Not just the aquarium, but the real estate that Martin very well introduced to you. Those are important ecosystems, and I can share some of my personal experiences because I'm originally from Greece. And the Canadians tend to not see that. I think it's very sad. Then you jump into our forest here, you're going to cold water that people complain about, but it's full of nutrients that's a bit thicker. And you see all these fish, big fish, small fish. Algae that grows in there, and it's fantastic. You know, and we're privileged to be here because other people travel from very far to see the kelp forest. They only exist in 5 parts of the world, and we're one of them.
Yeah, and like when you said that, talking about what we all learned earlier, that kelp forests only occur in 5 places on our planet. And I don't know if you knew this, but the father of diving himself, Jean-Jacques Cousteau, actually visited Catalina Island and saw that site over there at Casino Point, and he said it was the best diving of any.
Gonna head into the sea otter show.
So we are actually doing a training session with our otters. We have 3 here on exhibit, and we will be using food for this training session too. So these guys actually eat a lot of food. This is definitely not the first feed of the day. We actually start feeding them from around 6 a.m. and we feed them all the way to about 11 o'clock at night. So they eat about every 2 to 3 hours or so. And they need to eat a lot of food because these guys live in cold water environments, and they don't have blubber, so that layer of fat like other marine mammals have that help keep them nice and warm. So believe it or not, eating a lot of food actually helps generate a lot of body heat that helps keep them nice and warm. Isn't that right?
Definitely. So we mentioned earlier how they're found in Central California, and as Kelly mentioned, it's a little bit cold in those waters, so they do have to eat quite a bit to keep nice and warm. But one of their favorite things to eat are going to be sea urchins. Now, if you don't know what a sea urchin is, it's a type of invertebrate, but we also have some sea urchins on your right side that you can see but also touch as well. So we have purple sea urchins and red sea urchins here at the aquarium. And those sea urchins, what they like to do is they like to hang out at the bottom of the kelp forest, and they'll eat the holdfast of the kelp, and that holdfast acts as the roots of the kelp. Now, when there's a lot of sea urchins, if they're eating too much of that holdfast, then all that kelp is going to float away. We don't want too much kelp to float away because we mentioned how kelp forests support over 1,000 different types of animals and different types of algae. So we want to make sure that there's a nice healthy population when it comes to those sea urchins, and that's where the southern sea otter comes in. They are a keystone species, which means they play an important role within that habitat by eating some of those sea urchins, making sure that they're not eating too much of that holdfast. But Kelly, besides sea urchins, what other types of prey would they forage for?
Yeah, they're going to go after slow-moving prey items because we were talking about how they generate that body heat from the energy that they're creating from their food, right? So they're not going to waste that energy chasing after fast-moving prey items. So the fish in here, they're basically roommates. They're not going to go after the fish. They're going to go after slow-moving prey items. So yeah, sea urchins, things like crabs, oysters, clams, things like that are basically sitting at the bottom of the ocean floor that are waiting to be picked up by these otters. And these guys, when they dive down, they actually kind of like to gather as much as they can, and they actually have a lot of extra skin in their armpit area. We call it their pocket. So they'll actually gather food and maybe even a tool, so things like rocks, and put it in their pocket, kind of close their arm up, and then bring everything back up to the surface and lay at the top of the surface and spread everything out on their stomach.
It's kind of hard to get a good view of it, but it says here this is the spiny king crab. There's another one over here. There's a spot prawn. This is the spiny brindle star. There's a California spiny lobster. Here's another one hiding in the corner over here.